please. Oh, okay. Okay, now I can share. So I think you guys referring to these slides, and I found it here. Yeah, I'm going to go over how do I use IUL to cater different clientele with different group. And feel free to interrupt me because some of you guys hear about this already. So if you feel like I go too fast or too slow, please let me know. And I think I can incorporate how I approach people or how I teach my team to approach people in this presentation. Okay, so what we do here is
Kethy, we got 99 now. 100, yes.
Yes.
Yes, I don't have to leave, huh? I can stay. Yay. Okay. So what we're doing here is really we're helping a man's life from young to old. This is how amazing this work was. And I've been in this industry for 9 years. For the first 6 years, I was part-time. So I was like work WFG. And right now I'm 3 years full-time operating my WFG business. And during this 9 years, I'm observing different clients that they buy again and again and again because their family situation changes. So let me explain. Okay. So when we have 25-year-old.
Sorry for the interruption. So give me some your biodata too, your profile before the WFG. So it will be also more help to us.
My profile before WFG?
Yeah, before WFG, yes.
Okay. So I was finance majored. I graduated from Texas and Texas A&M. I graduated from A&M. So that's why I love Texan people. Yeah. So I spent 12 years in Houston, in Texas after. So I went school there, and then I was majored in finance for my graduate and undergraduate school. So I spent 6 years in business school. And then I spent my time in energy sector. I was doing corporate finance, financial planning to merge and acquisition analyst in energy sector in Houston, Texas. So I was exposed to finance at early age, but surprisingly, I didn't get enough education on my personal finance. For example, how to manage my retirement, how to save my taxation, how to take care of my senior parents, right? Things like that. Anything about money, right? And then I joined WFG just to learn, to become a client. And then I realized I can do this on the part-time when I was working for my green card. So I happily, doing that for part-time. And then, you know the story. Right now I'm a full-time SMD. And what I really want to tell you is that as a finance major, if I don't know much about my personal finance, you can imagine how big the market is. So during the 9 years after I was confident enough to share personal finance to people, I realized that there was no single person who didn't learn anything from me. There was no single person. So whatever the education we got from WFG, from our providers, we can benefit everybody. Okay, so I need to talk to more people. I know that. So let's come back to my presentation today. So for a 25-year-old, what's on their mind, right? Usually they're newly graduated, they located with a job, right? For people like that, what's they usually do? Maybe they are a big spender. They buy stuff, right? Or they are attracted to something trendy, something new, like a digital currency, right? Or stock market, just to play the game and then win or lose, right? So what we're doing here, we really need to establish a mindset for investment. So this is one of my favorite slides because we always say time is money, but no one is quantifying that for us. So here, this is the slide I'm using for every, young potential client. So 22-year-old, okay, they just started. This client A, she doesn't have too much money, $2,000 a year. And this is client B, she's spending, she's playing, okay? So only $2,000 a year for 6 years, and assuming a compounded rate of return of 12%, it's effortlessly to bring her into a millionaire position when she's retired. Okay, so on the right side, the client B, okay, if she waits for 6 years, and she's catching up in her 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Boom, see where she is. It's like the same thing. So which side do you want to be? I usually talk to any one of the where do you want to be? Do you want to be at the left side? You save, okay? And then you enjoy for the rest of your life. Or you want to be on the right side, you play, but you're catching up for the rest of your life. Where do you want to be? Okay, so I raise questions a lot. And what can we do with for this kind of clientele in IUL? We just save, right? Because IUL, we can contribute on a monthly basis. Okay, we don't have to put a huge amount of money in because it's a monthly contribution, like our 401k. Okay, so this is what we do. We just teach them to save, and we need to teach them the time is value. So this morning I just hosted BPM. We have like seven guests. They are all very young. They are younger than 30-year-old. This is exactly the slides I was using. Early contribution matters. Assuming that we have an annual rate of return of 10%, and assuming that we have 30 years, okay, 30 years to accumulate our net worth. So if we are able to save $1,000 a month, so for the first 10 years, we save roughly 120 grand, okay? And assuming annual compounding return of 10%, by the end of year 30, we have 1.4 million. How do you guys feel? $1,000 a month for 10 years, it will give me 1.4 million. Okay, that's a lot, right? That's a lot. However, let's take a look at the second 10 years. So if we do exactly the same from year 11 to 20, right? Exactly the same thing. $1,000 a month, we get 2 million. So what's the difference here? Do the math, 600K. Wow, so the first 10 year is 1.4 million. And then it dropped significantly. The second 10 year dropped significantly to 600K, okay? What is the third? The third is like 2.2. So what's the difference here? Do the math. Only 200 grand. So see, the first 10 years matter the most. Oh my God. The first 10 years gave me 1.4 million in my entire net worth. The second 10 year gave me only 600K. The third 10 year gave me only 200K. So what do we talk to the young folks? You better start early, okay? You better start early, okay? So in Chinese, we have a saying that if you want to get famous, do it quickly. Do it when you're young. Right now, I'm like, we're not chasing to be famous, right? But we want to be rich. And what do? We start young. And IUL can give us this flexibility because for young people, we can start an account and we can, we can accumulate, we can contribute on a monthly basis. So this is what I talk to the 25-year-old, save money, okay? And then 30-year-old, we definitely have more that we can talk for 30-year-old. So what else? We actually build up, right? So 40-year-old, can we talk what we talk for the 25-year-old? Of course we can, okay? On top of that, usually for 30-year-old, they started maybe to think about a person in the house, get married, okay? And the more, we can talk about 401k. We can talk about 401k. So 401k, I don't know about in your culture, but in Chinese, my community, among coworkers, is very comfortable if we share 401k information, because that's like a public information, okay, at a workplace. It's not like we're talking about how much you're making at a salary, because that's a taboo, right? However, we can talk about 401k. Hey, what kind of fund are you selecting? Okay, Shamila, are you selecting like S&P or are you selecting target fund? It's very comfortable. And if you're not comfortable to talk that at a workplace, I always do lunch with coworker. So right now is after COVID, we can do lunch, right? So that's usually the number one thing I talk to my coworker, and it's absolutely safe. It's not that private. Okay, so when we purchase the house, or right now I'm getting older, so some of the younger folks, they ask me for strategy to purchase a house. It's more like experience sharing. Where do you buy your house? How was your interest rate? How was the down payment? And who is your realtor, right? So that's also a very easy way to initiate a conversation. Gosh, I kind of miss the time that I had a job that I can prospect around my coworker. Right now, I'm losing that community. But this is also an easy way to start a conversation. For example, down payment. Do you put 80% or do you put 20%? Okay. Do we take fixed rate or flow, or 15-year loan or 30-year loan? So discuss about that. And for that, I can give you some number. So some people, they want to pay within 15 years because the interest rate usually it's lower, right? So let's take this as an example, a mathematical example. So let's say we have 400 grand loan, okay? And if my neighbor, we're purchasing exactly the same house. So my neighbor, for example, is taking 15-year loan. Okay, I'm taking 30-year loan. Let's give an example. So for him, the monthly payment for him is $2,811. And for me, if I'm taking 30-year loan, I'm paying $1,852. So what's the difference? It's $959, right? So what do you do about this money? Okay, go shopping or drink it? Okay, so if you spend it, then that's not a good idea. But if we are a disciplined investor, we put this $959 into where? Into IUL. Okay, so we save this difference into IUL, assuming 80% rate of return. Then 15 years later, I'm going to get a balance in my IUL. So this is what my neighbor will say. Let's say his name is Joe. Joe take 15 years, right, to pay off his debt. Is he happy? He is happy because the house is 100% owned by him, right? So 100% ownership. Am I happy? I still have 15 years to go, right? I'm also happy because I have IUL. I have a balance. Then I'm using this balance to pay the rest of my mortgage for the next 15 years. I don't have to use my paycheck to pay the loan balance. Isn't that nice? And what's going to happen after another 15 years? I have money to spend in my retirement and my house is paid off. So IUL can be a great supplement if we are leveraging the loan. Okay. So this is a math that I can share if some people initial thought was just asking for housing strategy, but I can incorporate their housing strategy with IUL. So we use this money in a smart way. Let me give you an example. So this is an illustration, nationwide illustration. If you have question about illustration, the best person to call is actually Nationwide. Nationwide people are very nice. We can schedule a time with Nationwide people to go over like every detail of the illustration. Okay. So let's say I have a client, 30-year-old, and this is IUL. Okay. We're saying that we're taking 30-year loan, right? So we have $959 per month. Okay. And we put into this IUL for 15 years. Okay, square. And then after the 15 year, okay, so this is my cash value, roughly $250,000. And I don't use my paycheck to pay the loan. I use IUL's cash value to pay the loan, income tax free. So I'm paying $1,852 for the rest of the 15 years. Okay. So my neighbor Joe, for neighbor Joe, he has nothing. He doesn't have a life insurance. He's, paying 15-year loan out of his pocket, okay, after tax money to pay his 15-year loan. But for me, I'm paying 30-year loan, and I'm saving this cash in my IUL for 15 years. And after 15 years, I'm using my IUL money to pay my loan. Okay, you see what I'm doing here, right? So this is absolutely hybrid strategy, a multifunctional product. Okay, so I save money, I pay my loan, I have a life insurance, and guess what? What is the best thing? After 30 years, I still have the cash value here, $170,000 to use for my retirement. See, if I have a neighbor or I have a coworker, or I have a friend who is trying to buy a house, or he's trying to buy a refinancing or whatever, I can initiate this conversation and tell him we can use the same amount of money to do multiple things. Isn't that amazing? IUL can do that. Okay. So this is purchasing a house. And for 35-year-old to 45, we can do more. We can do 25-year-old stuff, 30-year-old stuff, and we do more. So they got more eventful life, right? They have babies, they need family protection, they change jobs. So they have, old 401k that can be moved around. And they are thinking about kids' education. So more personal and family planning are needed for these people. So this age is the golden age, okay? It's a golden age. Yeah, life insurance is very needed. This is also from Nationwide's website. It's very user-friendly to calculate life insurance need, including income replacement, including, the potential final expenses, college expenses, etc., and mortgage debt, etc., to calculate how much life insurance is needed for a family. Okay. Death benefit is not the best topic I want to cover, but during my 9 years of service, I did claim death benefit for my client. Okay, and my client was actually super young. He was still in his 30s, but he passed away. Okay, and I claimed death benefit with Nationwide. So I filed the death claim request on Tuesday, and the money is in their bank account on Thursday. So Nationwide's turnover time was only 2 days. That's super impressive. So when I joined my client's funeral, other people, they brought, love and flowers. I brought those plus a $500K a check. So that was extremely impactful, extremely powerful. So when my client, either they are only child, because I'm the only child, I want to protect my parents, or they have kids, they have dependents. Okay, I'm just always share this story to them, how important life insurance is. Okay. And then we talk about 401k. What do we do about our old 401k? Actually, a lot of people, we are not aware of this. So when we jump from job to job, we just kind of forget about our old 401k. And so, for example, I used to work for Direct Energy in Houston. So I was one of the employees of Direct Energy. All the fees associated with 401k was paid by my employer, by Direct Energy. However, I left my job. What does that mean? They are not my employer anymore, right? So I'm not their employee. So they don't care about my 401k anymore. But the fees are still associated with 401k. Depends on, different size of the company, the fees might vary, okay? But no one gave us this education. No one tell you, oh, okay, Kethy, so this is how much 401k fees is, and you're still obligated for that. No one told me that. And if I call them, they don't talk that much either. So a lot of people are not aware of 401k fees. You guys can Google this PDF. It's called A Look at 401k Plan Fees, issued by U.S. Department of Labor. So 401k fees, including like plan administration fee, management fee, etc., etc. So usually the benefit for 401k rollover is subject to the old 401k. So after we leave the job we can move our 401k. Okay. And usually we move them to an account called IRA, Individual Retirement Arrangement. Okay. So for those kind of account, we usually, recommend our clients with annuity solutions. Okay. It's not IUL, it's annuity. Annuity is like a hedging with IUL. So I do a lot of business with IUL nowadays. as well as annuity. Okay, annuity solve a problem called living too long. So if I live too long, annuity still provides me with income. IUL solves the problem of dying too soon. So if I die too soon, knock the wood, my loved ones will get protection. So those two in my service are equally important to my clients. Okay. So I encourage you to talk about that with your friends who have 401k. The next thing is kids education. So this is also a very safe and a comfortable topic that we can bring up to everybody. As long as they have kids, they care about college. It's very easy, especially in California. It's very easy to talk how expensive the university is. So I talked to one of my client last week. So his daughter is in Stanford, and right now she's approaching the third year, and she's moving out of the campus, meaning that they have to pay rent and everything. So it's more expensive for them. I'm like, why can't she stay in the dorm? Because they have limited space. So the university kicked them out. So he's worried that he has to pay more, for the living expenses. So, and you can ask them a question. Do you know much about free money? Do you know much about free money? For example, grants, scholarship, or financial aids. And some of them just feel like, oh, financial aids, that's for the very poor people. It's not true. It's not true. So every year there's billions of dollars, okay, in free college money went unclaimed, okay? Where are this money come from? It's from the government. It's from the university, okay? And the number one reason why we don't get a free financial aid is because we did not fill up the application form. And why we did not fill up the application form? Because we think it's not for us. And that's not true. That's not true. So what they look at when they are considering our financial situation, one is income, okay? Second is some of the private schools, they look at the kids' merits, okay? Whether they're good in study. The third one is very important, is asset allocation. That's what we do, okay? As an advisor, we help them. So there are two categories. One is called included assets. So those are included assets. Everything is on the table. We can all see it. Okay. So for example, 529, that's a bad idea. UGMA, UTMA, custodian accounts, stock mutual fund, savings CD. What are they? They are liquid assets. Liquid assets. Rental property is actually a double dipping, because for rental property, we collect the rental income, right? So that's income. That's taxable. Okay. And also for rental property, the equity part is counted as asset. So it will impact the financial aid, from both sides. Trust funds and the resident home. Public school exclude the resident home, but the private school includes the equity part of resident home. So those are included assets. But where can we save to get it safer? Quality requirement. For example, 401k, Social Security, pension, those are qualified retirement, qualified annuity, and what? And IUL. So see, this is something that I definitely will talk to my clients about. We have money, but we need to be smart of where to save those money, where to put those money. If we put all the money in here, then what? Then those are all calculated when we are trying to get financial aid. But if we move our money from here to right side, it's invisible. It's invisible. So they are not counted as assets when financial aid is calculated. So see, that's another huge market, a huge market for people who have kids. They worry about, going to college. Saving in this accounts would definitely benefit them. And a lot of people, they do not know about that. Okay. So what I'm doing here, I give education about financial aid that they want to learn. Okay. And also I'm helping them to find where the money is. Because sometimes when we're trying to close the IUL, they say, I don't have money, right? That's a problem. I don't have money. So we need to give their education in advance, okay? Then to bring their awareness, okay, this is a bad idea. I need to sell the 529 because that will lower my chance to get financial aid. But after I sell my 529, I have money. Where do I put that? We put that in IUL. Okay. So this is a huge topic for kids education. Okay. And then 40 to 50, retirement. You know what? Actually, right now, I feel like even 20-year-old is interested in talking about retirement. So I'm kind of a little biased here. So retirement, everybody wants to retire early. And here is a list of questions I ask for everybody who's interested in retirement. Do you really only rely on 401k? What do you feel about Social Security? Okay. Do you want to pay tax later or do you want to pay tax now? So this example of 401k, I shared this morning as well. So let's say we have 25 years to work for a company, okay? And I started with 100k. So I have account A and account B. For account A, the market is rising, then the market tank, okay? For account B, we are losing money, but later we catch up. And which one do you like? I always get the answer that, oh, I like account A because it looks better, right? It looks happier, right? However, if I accumulate my money for 25 years, these two accounts, I'm indifferent. Because starting point and ending point, they are the same. So this is what happened in 401k. We don't look at it. If the market, goes down, if the market tanks, we just feel like, oh, I just don't look at it. And then the market will come back, right? So this is a lot of people what we're thinking when we're thinking for 401k before retirement. However, I always ask them, what do we do after retirement? So let's say I have 700k here. This is my 401k. Right now I'm retired. I need to use the money. I'm taking 5% out of my 401k to support my lifestyle, okay? So that's legit, right? However, if the market tanked, I will be scared because I have to use this money and the market keeps dropping. That's really nervous, right? That made me nervous. Account B is depleted by year 13. So this is what happening in retirement. We are afraid of investing. We are afraid of investing. This is why when I talk to a lot of people, the older they get, the more conservative they are. Okay, they don't dare to invest. Okay, but I want to show you guys another slide. That if I have IUL, what do I do? If I have IUL, what do I do? So this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, so let's say we only have 401k. We only have 401k. I have $1 million. And every year I take out 70k. Okay, age 60 to 85. So this is my balance for 40. But if I have IUL, I have two accounts. 1 and 2. This is IUL. This is 401k. So when the market is doing okay, I take out from my 401k. Okay? But when the market is losing money, I take out from IUL. Because in IUL, we do not lose money. You're with me? So when the market drops, my 401k is getting me nervous. So I don't touch it. I take out from IUL. But if the market is rising, okay, I feel better. So I take out from 401k. And I still have 3.3 million left after 20 years. Compared to $440,000 left. Okay. When I still had a job, I talked to people about, 401k all the time. And IUL is such a very powerful supplement to 401k or to any investment in general. Because you have a lot of friends who are trading stocks, right? Who are participating in mutual funds, right? And as we get older, what do? We are afraid. So age 30, we are purchasing risky stuff. And then we started to buy CD, buy CD, buy CD. We don't dare to invest anymore. However, if we're purchasing IUL, we have 7% to 9% of rate of return, zero market risk. Doesn't matter if we're 30, 40, or 90. Okay. So this is a very good supplement to 401k and IRA. Okay. And here is some example of the real statement of my real client since 2012. Okay. So this is the return for IUL. And then the next year, this is rate of return. What do you think? You're very beautiful. And this is a bad year. This is a bad year. 2014, 2015 was a bad year. So when 401k is losing money, the stock is losing money, what do we do here in IUL? The return is 0%. We are 100% safe. So this is directly from statements, okay? So if you own IUL, you take a look at your statement. Doesn't matter which company, Nationwide, Transamerica, Pacific Life, take a look at the statement, okay? And those can make sales. Those can make sales. This is 2015. What's the return? Beautiful. And a 16, 17, right? So the average return is like 7% to 9%. Isn't that powerful? Okay. All right. Another strategy is, what do we do if we get money? So I'm not sure about your community, but for Chinese community, people love real estate. Doesn't matter which city, they buy real estate. And then they hold the property. What they're thinking is that I'm going to sell the real estate. And then I got to have money. However, where do we put that money? So for example, let's say I sold a property for 500K at the age of 70. What do we do about this money? You might say, just spend it. That's right, just spend it. But what else do? I cannot spend $500,000, right? I spend a portion of it. And then what do I do for the rest of the money? If I put it in the bank, it doesn't grow much. If I put in stock market, I'm afraid that I might lose money, right? So here is IUL, okay? So if I have IUL, I have cash value, and I spend the cash value, it has a very powerful function called refill. What is refill? We go to McDonald's, we buy a soda, we buy a Coca-Cola, and we drink it. We keep the cup, and we can go back to McDonald's to refill the drink. Am I right? The same thing for IUL. So, okay, so if I have this IUL, I have the cash value in there, and if I spend it, and then I sold the property, I can refill the money I spent in IUL. So I can dump in this 500K. Income tax free, it will continue grow, no market risk, and I still keep the life insurance. So all we need to do is just open one IUL account, okay? And when we need money, we take it out. And when we need to put back money, we can. However, for other accounts, for example, IRA, for example, 401k, once we are at a distribution phase, when we take out the money, we cannot contribute back. So those accounts are limited in terms of refilling, but IUL we can. So in this scenario, also, this is a function in illustration, okay? In Nationwide illustration, we can do that. So what I'm putting here is we take the loan out every year, 27 grand, and later, okay, we put in, we can repay. It's called, a function is called repay loan. So I put in 500K, and then I continue to take loan out. So then I can take 70K out. 100% income tax free. By the way, because Udav and I were expanding, Prem, nice to see you again here. So we're expanding in Canada, right? Canadians do not have IUL. Do you guys know that? So don't take this as granted, you know? In the whole global world, there are only 2 countries who have IUL. One is United States. Do you guys know the second one? The second one is Germany. Germany has something similar to IUL, never lose money. However, their rate of return is not comparable to us. Their rate of return is roughly a CD rate. So it's kind of like a not that good IUL. Okay, so don't take this granted. Only United States have this. I think that's another strong selling point. Because yeah, because we're also targeting immigrants market, right? So when we come to this opportunity land, this is the best thing. This is the best thing we can get, okay, compared to other countries. Okay. Okay, I wouldn't spend too much time on index annuity, but index annuity is also a strong thing. Another one I want to share with you guys is this tax balancing. So let's say later when I retire, I need to use my money in my 401k. So let's say I take out $160,000 from my 401k. This is tax form in 2022. So if I need to take out 160,000, this is how much tax I need to pay. Okay, because in 401k, the money was pre-tax money. So when I take out, every dollar is taxable. Okay. However, if I have IUL, okay, if I have a 401k and IUL, what do I do? Okay, I'm going to study this tax form. So I'm going to take out in here. I'm going to take out only 80 to 50. Why? Because the income tax is only 10%, 12%. Okay, so I'll stop here. However, I still want to maintain a lifestyle of 160. What do? I take out the rest of the money from IUL. We know that in 401k, there are 2 account owners. One is named Kethy Gu. The other owner's name is Uncle Sam, right? Uncle Sam will take a portion of my 401k. So I cannot fully rely on 401k for my retirement. 401k is taxable. Social Security is taxable. Saving CD is taxable. Stock is taxable. Real estate is taxable. So do we want a taxable income, like a taxable retirement? We don't want it. This is why IUL is extremely important. We need to use the tax exempt room in IUL, okay? And then we make it big. We have a lot of cash value. And then when we retire, we have option. We have choices, okay? Whatever the tax table is changing, we can, hybrid. We can hybrid the taxation, okay? So this is IUL. So powerful in terms of tax saving. This is a difference just in 1 year, right? 9235 versus 26,000. This is only saving for 1 year. Imagine we're going to retire for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. How much taxation we're saving right here? Okay. 60-year-old or actually younger. Right now, it's a big topic, especially for California. We talk about long-term care because the long-term care law is going to go effective January 2024. Okay. So long-term care is expensive. If we're living in nursing home in Texas, it's roughly 80,000 to 90,000 a year. In California, it's 130,000 a year. So do we really want to burn our 401k, our savings to pay to the hospital? Do we really want to do that? We don't. We want to leverage life insurance company. Am I right? So we do IUL with long-term care rider. So I'm able to enjoy everything IUL can offer. Okay, tax saving, life protection, investment potential, downside protection. And I only pay a little bit more to get long-term care rider as a function. So this is brilliant. So this morning I made an appointment, I follow-up appointment with one of my guests to the BPM. Oh my God, she's only 27-year-old. And she asked me about long-term care because she heard about the long-term care law in California. So I set up this appointment. So I'm going to talk about long-term care, but I'm going to expand my scope because I know she's a house owner, she has 401k. So I'm using long-term care as a topic which she's interested in, and I'm going to cover other stuff. And everything I'm talking about is directing me to long-term care. Oh, sorry, to IUL. That's how strong it is. For 70-year-old, I'm going to talk about estate planning. So for Chinese people, we always, give house to the kids. So if I have a house worth $1 million, I give my kids $1 million. So that's Chinese mindset, okay? But the real mindset should be, if I have $1 million, I'm going to buy a 5 million or 10 million life insurance. Then I can give my kids 10 million. Is that right? So for estate planning, if we talk to grandparents, they want to give money to their kids or grandkids, I talk about the leveraging to give the best. And most importantly, if we put money in life insurance, we can avoid probate. But if we give kids the real, like a tangible assets, like a house, we cannot avoid probate. Probate is time consuming, probate is lawyer involved, it's expensive, okay? That's what we do. Okay, yeah. So this is the enemies to conclude. This is the enemies when we, build up our net worth. Inflation, still crazy. Market risk, taxation, long-term care. This can burn us money very, very quickly, okay? And what are the cures? Discipline. We start early. We contribute on a monthly basis. We control the risk. IUL makes sure we do not lose money. We build up saving habits. We save first, then we spend. We build up a long-term mindset because long-term is a cure for market risk. We build up diversification, okay? We don't put all of the money in one stock, all of the eggs in one basket. We diversify. We buy S&P 500. We leverage professional institution. Nationwide, Pacific Life, Transamerica, they will never go bankruptcy if this country still exists, put it this way. That's how powerful IUL is, okay? And I know that your team are excellent in recruiting. I know that. And we need to catch up because for our platform, we don't discriminate any age. As long as you're 18-year-old, join us. The worst thing is you can learn some financial knowledge. You can become the money doctor of your family. I'm going to recruit my client's son next week because none of them wants to learn. They put all their learning burden to the 19-year-old son. Like, fine, I'm gonna recruit him. And then we always have this slash opportunity, whatever you do. Okay, engineer, doctor, lawyer, whatever you're doing, business owner, you can always have a slash. The slash is going to be WFG. So we sell IUL, but the more importantly, we sell this education and the financial service opportunity to people, okay? So this is my closing sentence. Do you think we deserve this service? Do you think your friends and family deserve it? Do you think all the families deserve that? If then, we are lifetime serving friends, and yeah, just let us invite more. I feel like I really appreciate Mr. Udaf. So you guys are so much into financial education and the financial service. I really admire that, and this is exactly what we do. So this is my presentation, and if you want my slides, I can send it to Udaf as well. Yeah, open to questions, comments.
We would love to get that slides if you can pass it on. Thank you so much, and it was fantastic. The exact way how I requested. Thank you so very much for listening me. And I think new people, or even we are like for years, or anybody who learned, reviewed more again, and it was as expected. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
All right. Thank you, Kethy. So we have two hand raised. So let's go to the question to the Dev sir.
Thank you, Kethy. You are today give the great presentation, open our team the eye, and explain to the different way and how can connect to the IUL like 401k IRA account. So I'm very surprised, and very brighted. And one thing, and also you already told me, so share your slide to the Uddhav sir,
Yeah.
I'm waiting your slide because your slide is very powerful, and other things. Can you one thing say, explain more?
He's
So
powerful too.
yeah.
Not only slide.
Yeah.
Powerhouse.
Powerful person is make a powerful presentation, Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Kethy, can you explain? I'm confusing over your financial assets arrangement slides. Can you reopen the financial assets arrangement, like the included and excluded?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's for the tax included and excluded. Yes.
This one, right?
Yeah. Can you explain it one more time?
Okay. I might need another slide, to be honest.
No,
Let me
this
show
slide,
you.
this slide, yes.
Yes. So let me show you something else. This one is a little simplified one. Okay. Financial aid is a very interesting topic. So this is important. Okay. So how financial aid is calculated? Every university is actually following this formula. It's called a COA minus EFC. Okay. COA is the cost of attendance. That's $100,000 I'm mentioning for Stanford. Okay. So EFC stands for expected family contribution. Okay. So this one is calculated. So our goal is very clear. We want to decrease the EFC. We want to decrease the EFC. So we want to increase the financial aid. Make sense so far, Dave?
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Okay. So what is EFC? There are 4 components in EFC: parents' income, parents' asset; kids' income, kids' asset. So add up the 4 components together, we get EFC. That's how it's calculated. So first thing first, kids do not make money. Okay. Kids do not own assets. For parents' income, if it's W-2, we cannot do anything. It's employee. But for us, we're a business owner. We can write off expenses. So the key part as advisor, we help them to minimize the assets. And how to minimum the assets? Here come included and excluded. So here are included in asset calculation. Here are excluded from asset calculation. So this is why it's important. We want to save money. We want to be rich, but we do not want to be rich, on the book. We want to be invisible. These are invisible. So this helps me to sell IUL.
Yes.
Great question. Great question. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right. Next. Go ahead, sir. Unmute yourself.
Sorry, excited to talk, so forget my unmute. Hey, Kethy, thank you. I listened this second time. The same presentation you did like last time I was there. I think I have listened like a couple of times your recording, and then it's refreshing. So 2 questions for me, if I can ask 2 questions. Okay. So one is regarding the financial education, FAFSA. When you talk with your clients, whatever clients you are going, is your client, student, children, are they going for a private school, or they will go to the public school? Because what happened, I talked with one of my friends, and then he sent his son recently to University of Utah. And University of Utah cost of attendance is 27,000 for this year. And his EFC with after the FAFSA application came 17,000. So the difference was 10,000, but he still got nothing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There was nothing. So and I think in Nepalese community, in most of us, like maybe like 70-80%, we plan to send our kids to public school, public university, not private.
Private.
So
Yeah.
so that's always like it seems like when I talked with him and he did not got anything, although there is a $10,000 difference. For me, it was like I was telling some kind of lie. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So how do we? And then many people say like, hey, it doesn't matter if we say to the public school, you don't get any benefit on that
Okay.
one. So how can we justify that one thing? And then another thing was you showed about the 401k, the income when market is down, we don't take money from 401k, and at that time we take from IUL. But once you start taking your money from 401k, there is the required minimum distribution. I believe like you have to. I might be wrong. Okay, I'm not very experienced like you, but what I think is once you start taking RMD, no matter what, you have to take the required minimum distribution. So I don't think you can say like, oh, 401k went down 20%. I'm not taking RMD this year. Or can you tell that? How can I explain on that?
Yeah. You're right. You're right. When one RMD is triggered, that's the rule from IRS. If we if we do not take that out, it's going to be penalized.
Yeah.
So that's what we need to do. But beyond that point, that's where the flexibility is. So RMD part, you're 100%. We have to do that. Okay. Second thing is, if they trigger RMD, meaning they're 72-year-old and older. So in my opinion, they shouldn't 72. So in my opinion, they shouldn't have 401k. They shouldn't have their money in the mutual funds anymore. Sorry, you're mute. Oh, you're not talking to me. Okay.
Sorry, I'm talking with my son here.
Oh, no worries, no worries. So what I'm trying to say is here. So for a 72-year-old, I wouldn't think that they should still buying, mutual funds in 401k. I should have rolled them over to annuity already. And for annuity, they have downside protection as well. So they don't worry about that. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but you are right. For RMD, we have to take it. Yeah. So for private school and public school, though, that's also a very good question. So usually, college funding, this is like a niche market for IUL because the target client is one, they are open. They are not that stubborn. Okay, my kids will go to University of Utah, period. That's not the target client. The target client is they're open to public and the private. Okay. Second, public school gives much less financial aid than private school. Why? Yeah. Because private school get more money. They are richer. Okay. Third, we target people who feel like private school is more privileged and they don't send their kids to private school because they think it's too expensive. Stanford is like 100,000, okay? And the UC, University of California, is roughly 30,000. So they feel like, oh, I cannot afford Stanford, so let's go to UC. Those clients are our target. So I have this testimony, which happened in our Houston office. So this client, she's a single mom, realtor, make a very good income. She's a mother of 3 daughters. The first daughter go to Johns Hopkins private school. and she got over $60,000 financial aid a year. Second daughter goes to University of Houston, public school. She only got 4,000, much less. The third daughter go to Bentley, another private school, roughly got $60,000 private school. So financial aid is for private school, much higher chance.
Oh, okay. That makes completely sense to me now.
Awesome,
Okay.
good question.
Hey, thank you so much again. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Any other thing from the audience? By the way, every one of you is in my invitation list, okay? I'm going to invite you to my team one day. Every one of you, okay?
You can invite which one you want.
We will eagerly wait for your invitation.
Okay.
Everybody.
Deal. We help each other, okay? You help
Yep.
me building, okay?
All right, Kathy, thanks for your time. Oh, Jenna, do you have any question for Kathy?
Yes, I have a question. Kathy, are you located in Toronto? Do you have an office in Toronto?
I do, yeah.
I am from Toronto, and I have a niece that I'd love to participate, and she's been asking me about financial management, and I wondered if I could refer her to you.
Yeah, but we'd have got a correct. Yeah. We can absolutely talk that later. But you talk to Uda first.
Yes.
Because Karishna from your team is excellent in Toronto as well. But let me know how I can help. Yeah, we have team there.
So next time when you have our training in Toronto, I will definitely let you know, or Ita, she will let you know.
Yeah, it just came to mind that I asked, you know.
Yeah.
But I
So
would ask you.
that's a good thing you came to mind in later. That's fine. But next time, next time definitely when I have to be training on the Toronto, I will let you know, or the Ita will let you know. Then you can invite your niece. So we have a training, and might be I will recruit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, good luck on that. Yeah, thank you for having me. See you guys soon.
Kathy,
Yeah.
time. So
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kethy.
thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay.